do I go? I get the easiest road, or I get the road that I have to work more in order to get my food ready. And a lot of people say the easiest road, everywhere you turn your head in the city, you smell it. And the smell is calling you. Me either, but most people do. Right? The smell is smelling, it's calling you. You cannot enter a community who got a McDonald's in it without smelling it. If you don't smell it, you have a smelling problem. That's true. And that's a major thing to take care of. Right? Because no matter which neighborhood you enter, if there is a McDonald's, you smell it. You ask yourself, where is the McDonald's? But you do know there's a McDonald's around because that rancid smell is filling yourself up. And I guarantee you, if anybody here enter a neighborhood and cannot smell McDonald's, you better find out what your problem on smell is about. Right? And do you know smell is between the first symptom that we have to get Alzheimer's? I leave that with you. Smell, lack of smell, is one of the first symptoms that we get before we get Alzheimer's. It can be 30 years before. It could be 30 years before. Then, carbohydrate. What are we eating? Right? The type of food that we need to incorporate in our food intake in order to get balance. We cannot eat all the time the same thing. We cannot decide, oh, we're just having, I don't know, lollipops, and then eat lollipops all day long, and we'll get sick. As simple as that. Right? Then, one of the food that we incorporate in our food intake is carbohydrate. The whole thing depends on the proportion of the carbohydrate that you put in your food intake, right? The other thing we need is protein, right? All the meat, all the beans, all the nuts, right? The other thing that we need is green leafy vegetable. We cannot have minerals in our body if we don't eat vegetables. You go anywhere and people say, oh, no, you have a nice skin. Will you tell the person it's because I buy whatever cream at whatever store? No, it's not the cream who gives you the nice skin. It's those green leafy vegetables. Fruits. Right? We need to have foods in our food intake. And the other thing we don't think about is fat and unprocessed oil. We can't spend days without having some fat in our food intake. It's the quality of the fat that is talking here, but it's not the fat. Because remember, everybody thinks cholesterol, 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 cholesterol. We cannot live without cholesterol. We need cholesterol to form the hormones. But there's a good cholesterol and a bad cholesterol. There's good oil and bad oil. Is it the oil that we don't need? No. What we don't need is the processed oil. What is the cheapest oil? Right? People buy a big gallon of oil for $6. It could be 10 now. Somebody call my attention now. It's 10. It doesn't matter. That's not for us. That's not the oil that the body needs. The body doesn't have no job for that. And then after that, when people get menopause, they have all kinds of symptoms, all kinds of things. How could you not? You don't have hormones because you're not getting the first ingredient that is needed to form the things. Make sense? We need to move. It doesn't matter the way you are. We need to move. As human beings, we need to move. Find something what you like. You can do tennis, you can dance, you can jump, but do something. Whatever that is, right? And don't get yourself excuse not to do things. Oh, I don't feel like doing it. Oh, I'm so heavy. But the more heavy you are, the less you do, the more heavy you'll become. Then move, do what your body can do. Look at her. She's still doing. Right? Oh,